We'll go ahead and call the regular council meeting to order. Chief Floyd, will you lead us in the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. May I have a roll call?
Becknick. Here. McKinney.
Here.
Shaver. Here. Horton.
Here.
Bertone.
Here.
Heights.
Here.
Thank you.
May I have a motion to approve the council minutes from June 16th and the special council meeting July 7th?
So moved.
Second.
Mayor, with a correction, or in addition to the special meeting,
Sure, go
if I
ahead.
may. So Mr. Williams brought up a point that I had commented on traffic flow as it is what it is, which was inaccurate. I went back to the meeting on 5/19. You could look this up on YouTube. The only time I responded or commented when Mr. Williams was speaking was about the right-of-way and that it was publicly owned, but the state requires the adjoining property owner to take care of it. That has nothing to do with speed. And then that Mr. Williams asked the village to look at purchasing the property next to us here. I made a motion to go into executive session to actually purchase the property. So I want to enter that into the record
Okay,
and that YouTube meeting.
all right, thank you very much.
Mayor,
Yes,
could I ask that we do separate motions?
you want them to be separate motions? It's fine with me.
Because I have to abstain on the special.
That's fine. So we'll make one motion for June 16th.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All right, now you're messing me up. Hang on a minute. 4, 3. Okay. Horton.
Aye.
Shaver.
Aye.
Becknick.
Aye.
McKinney.
Aye.
Bertone.
Aye.
Heights.
Aye.
Thank you.
And then a motion for the July 7th special council meeting with the amendments as just presented by Mr. Bertone.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Bertone.
Aye.
Becknick.
Aye.
McKinney.
Aye.
Shaver.
Aye.
Horton.
Aye.
Heights.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, from our solicitor this evening, Mr. Lyons.
No report tonight, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, sir. From our administrator, Mr. Darling.
My full report is in the packet, but a few highlights and updates. The Lake County Community Development Department has announced that they intend to award $366,000 to the village for the Streetscape Phase 3. This will replace sidewalks and streetlights in the 200 block of High Street. Phase 3 will be the last of our streetscape projects. The official announcement will be made this fall. They have gathered up all their projects, and now they awkwardly wait until the feds tell them how much money they actually get. And then we were informed on Friday that we did not receive the FEMA brick grant for the Prospect Street hillside. That application was for $153,000 for design work. We still have the National Coastal Resilience Fund application for that same work and a $60,000 coastal management assistance grant out submitted. We are very hopeful for both of those. We have also resubmitted the Village as an Opportunity Zone as part of the Ohio Opportunity Zone 2.0 program. We will find out in September if Governor DeWine includes us in his submittal to the U.S. Treasury Department. The Opportunity Zone designation would then be good for 10 years. 625 East Street has been boarded up by the Service Department, and the Lake County Land Bank has received a $60,000 grant from ODOD for an asbestos survey and Phase 2 environmental assessment. That gets them one step closer to demolition. And then the new 4th Street pre-construction meeting has been scheduled for this Friday, and we'll have additional timeline information for that project after that meeting. That is all that I have.
Thanks, Lucas. I want to call out the Streetscape Phase 3. Thank council and thank you for your hard work in getting that over the hump. I know the last couple of years we've missed out on the funding for it. It's an important piece to finish, so thank you again for your diligent efforts on that. Does anyone have anything else for Lucas tonight? Okay. From our engineer, Alan.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. So, as everyone knows, we got a couple of projects going on, starting with the OPWC Rounds 40 Stormwater Catch Basin Improvement Project. This is going to be where we're going to be working through Round 40 to basically replace the catch basins, specifically in targeted areas that we reviewed with Mike Rowan and Lucas, to effectively look at the most deteriorated areas and replace these catch basins so that we can capture some of the runoff and the ponding on the roads. That funding was effective July 1st, so moving into the design, we're going to be doing the stormwater asset inventory. In tandem, we're going to be picking up both the field work, doing the jobs in tandem, together, so that we can pick up all the data, the catch basins, put them in the GIS at the same time and save some work on our surveys side, and hopefully getting some efficiency to get this project on the street this year, so that hopefully some of these improvements can be conducted this year and before the end of the season. Tying that in, and I tried to combine both things, that's why I messed up. The stormwater system inventory and rating program that was passed at the emergency council meeting. We are already underway with that project and are in the field right now. You guys will see our couple interns and Reed Scott roaming around. We're basically dipping every single manhole, every single catch basin, and determining the actual network and the infrastructure underneath for the storm system, the same way that we've done the investigation on the water side, so we can really understand where the stormwater's going, what catch basins are interconnected, where the manholes are, and effectively make a similar rating system and improvement list as we're doing with the water side on the conditions assessment, so we can have a cohesive capital plan to really target and leverage both funds to get the best funding for the projects themselves. So it's a really good effort. We have the staff in the field right now, and I'll actually be out Thursday helping coordinate some of this. So if anyone's out and about, you'll see me walking around with a couple people dipping manholes. We talked about last couple meetings, the funding year 2027 capital project budget request and the OPWC 27, round 41, in which we're going to be doing the advanced meters infrastructure. That's going to be replacement of all the meters. We're going to be replacing all 1,400 meters in over 2 years. The first year we're going to be doing the system itself, in which we're going to install the MTUs, the radios themselves, onto your guys' meters so they can transmit to the tower, and effectively we're going to rebuild the system so you guys won't have Pat walking around every couple months picking all the meter read-ups. It's going to be automatic, so Pat can spend his time a little more diligently and make sure that he's doing more for the water system itself, not that he's not already. As I spoke about earlier as well, we have the OEPA grant for the water system conditions assessment, in which we are developing the final rating system for the asset management plan, updating the inventory, and really developing the best classification for your water system. So when we're spending dollars on the water system itself, it's every dollar's being effectively accounted, and we're not wasting any money. We have the best plan of action so we can leverage for the funding and make sure we're spending every dollar wisely, because this is the residents' dollars we're raising these rates for. So the secondary water connection, basically, I'm sure the mayor, you saw on your desk today that we sent over. We're gonna talk about this probably more at the next meeting, but essentially we found in the OAC code, and this is also carried into the contingency plan through the asset management plan law, that it is required for you to have 3 backup sources for your water sources. Previously, we had bottled water. We had the interconnection that we're currently using as our primary interconnection now when the water treatment plant was in place. And then we have the ability previously to basically have a hauler truck come in and pump the water up. Now with the water treatment plant gone, we are now using obviously the interconnection with Painesville as our primary source. So we're down to 2 sources, and there's no real other source that we can tangibly say in an emergency we can get water to the village without bottled water, but that's a potential to run out and getting that kind of surplus immediately. Secondly, the hauler truck and getting a pump that would be able to pump up the same way that Painesville has at their plant that basically pumps into your system. The logistics of that are very complicated, so the best option really is, and adhere to the contingency plan law itself in OAC, is to install the secondary water connection. Again, as I've spoken about previously, and I'm going to re-summarize at the next meeting, we do currently have $929,000 of grant money through David Joyce's Congressional Earmark Fund targeted towards this, and it's about $1.162 million. So there's a delta of about $200,000 where we're still going to be targeting other funding sources. However, we do currently have this rolled into the water revolving supply loan account with the Ohio EPA and are hoping to get a 0% loan for this and potentially principal forgiveness. So we'll have more updates on that as we communicate with the OEPA, and this will be one of the projects that we're hoping is already plugged into the rate study and will be something very positive for the village once we have it as our primary option for if an emergency occurs.
How long is the Dave Joyce funds available?
There's no real, I'm not going to say there's not a deadline, but we have the time to basically still design this and construct this, and it won't be an issue with the funding at this point.
Okay.
I would say we have at least a couple of years.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
And then, as Lucas spoke about very briefly, New Fourth, the kickoff meeting is going to be in JJ's hands. He's one of the construction project managers at our company. He does a great job, good guy, and he's going to be updating us with the anticipated schedule once we talk with the contractor on Friday, and I'll be shooting that over to Lucas for everybody to see, and we'll have an update at the next council meeting with the anticipated construction schedule, length, and when we anticipate that project wrapping up.
That's New Fourth?
That is New Fourth, correct.
Okay, thank you.
That was my update. Thank you.
Thank you. So a couple of things. Let me go back to the stormwater system mapping.
Sure.
I want to thank you for pulling that forward and doing that work. It's very important work to do here in the village. We have plenty of opportunities, as most people in this room know and most council members know, over the years, being a combined system. So understanding the way it flows, understanding where our challenges are, and more importantly, being able to fund and go after things and pick them off in a sensible manner.
Right.
It makes a ton of sense to do. So that's going to pay dividends for many, many years to come. The water meter replacement, having that new technology, not just freeing up Pat, but what that does is that'll let a resident know almost immediately if they're having an issue with a toilet that's leaking or a water pipe that might have burst in the wintertime, et cetera. That doesn't just save that homeowner money, that saves every one of us ratepayers here in the village money, because once that water's past that meter, it has to be paid for, right? And it's just a waste at that point. So again, I think those are 2 very big deals. I do appreciate the work that went in to the OAC rule. I know I was quite pointed in my remarks the last time we talked about the need for the interconnect. I can tell you that I'm satisfied fully with what's presented here. This makes sense to do, and it's required to do. So thank you guys for pulling that together. And thanks for everything else that's going on, especially with the New Fourth stuff. Is there any way that we'll have any information that we might be able to get out to the public before the next meeting?
Yeah, I mean,
As far as the construction schedule goes?
I'm happy to shoot that over and however you want to post it. If there's like somewhere, we can put it on the website.
I think there'll be
Friday.
great interest, you know,
Sure, sure.
pretty quick when we have that. So if we could somehow get that out to the school or get it out on the website. Anybody else got anything of Alan tonight? Okay, thank you. Fiscal Officer, Chris Page.
All right, so we'll start with the payment register. That should be the last 2 or 3 pages of your financials. I'd appreciate a review, questions, and a motion to approve the check register if you're so inclined.
Not everybody at once.
All right,
I'll make the motion.
thank you,
Second.
thank you. I'm sorry. Bertone,
Aye.
Backnick,
Aye.
McKinney,
Aye.
Shaver,
Aye.
Horton,
Aye.
Heights.
Aye.
Thank you. All right, and then to the financial report. We are reconciled for the month of June. In the month, we received $311,545.13. We expended $355,938.78. Our reconciled balance is $4,970,450.48. Our interest earned for the month was $15,006.37. Year-to-date, we've received $82,312.14. Year-to-date, your revenue was $2,942,392.27. Expenditures year-to-date are $2,096,276.27. I don't think, any questions?
I have none.
Okay, I have just a couple of things that I wanted to note so that everybody was aware. We finally received the State Department of Taxation's approval of exemption of the water plant property that was on my desk today. So that's been approved, and it is exempt from real property tax now. So that's done. And then I wanted to note, because I had a conversation with Pat Bush this morning, we have Pat has spent the last 3 months picking off leaks throughout the village. We had a couple of really big ones in February, and our water bill has gone from, I think the highest in the last 3 months was about $54,000 for 1 month, and the bill we paid a couple of days ago was $38,000. So his work, and we had leak seekers in as well, and the combined package is saving us upwards of $15,000 at the moment a month. So it's finally back to where it needs to be. So I just thought I'd let you know, because he's done a really good job with that. That said, that's all I got. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody got anything for Chris? Okay. Standing committees. Safety? I know the reports are in the packet. Anyone got any questions of police or fire? Nice job over the holiday. Had a lot of fun in the parade. Nice to get wet. So we had a good, I think it was still a pretty decent turnout for the parade, and the day was a pretty good day. So, and I didn't hear much from either one of your departments, and that's always a good thing. So thanks for the good crowd control on fireworks night. Things seem to move pretty well in the village. So thank you for your efforts. Appreciate your men and women.
Thank you, Mayor.
Goods, grants, and welfare.
Nothing outside of Lucas's grant update for today.
Okay. Anything from Tree Commission?
So the Tree Commission has been very busy outside of all of the specific grant work that's been going on. End of June, we did a walk through the park with Alan. He's our certified consultant who's been helping us with the grant project. So we went through the park, and the goal was to identify the different species of trees within the park. We did that. We have currently 22 different species in the park. Next step is to apply for level 1 arboretum status, and that requires 25 different species, so we're almost there. In the next, I don't know, maybe a year or so we can apply for that. Next week, the village is hosting Tree Commission Academy, so different members of tree commissions across the county will meet here on Wednesday and Thursday of next week at the VFW. 2 days of training. That's the first class, and then there's another one later in the year. And the tree commission will be set up on Community Day. Alan will be there to answer questions and, fill you in on anything and everything you'd like to know about what's going on with the tree commission. That is all.
Thank you. Okay. Ordinance number 2025-44 is still tabled. Ordinance 2026-44, amending 375 and adopting 377 for golf carts is still tabled. Ordinance number 2026-51, amending, I'm sorry, give me 1 minute. An ordinance amending the Village Code, Chapter 373, to address the operation of bicycles, electric bicycles, motorized bicycles, and personal assistive mobility devices. That is on third reading, can be voted on this evening.
So Mayor, just one comment. We discussed, I think, at the last meeting, the parent's responsibility, 373.03. It may be just a minor tweak there. If somebody has a driver's license at 16, they probably should, the state says they can drive a vehicle, they probably should be able to drive a scooter as well. And so maybe the language is under the age of 18 or valid Ohio driver's license. And if that's acceptable, if Mr. Lyons thinks that that's okay, then I would make an amendment to make that adjustment, or a motion to make the amendment to that, and then maybe proceed with the vote. I feel like we should play Jeopardy music.
We could probably
Right.
cue it up.
He's
I-
got some
I actually think you stumped them.
winery music.
I think the
If that was
thinking,
a motion, I'll second it.
Tony, I think the thinking on this was, it was an extra, not that a person with a driver's license wasn't capable of operating it, but I thought that the thinking was, is it gives an extra layer of responsibility, okay, to a parent, because many times the parent is gonna be the one who buys that bike or e-bike for the kid, and they can take it away, okay, and that might be the most effective way in order to get some sort of a punishment. And so it's just an extra layer of regulation. They're not, nobody's required to have a driver's license for this. And I don't,
No, but
I mean, parents are still responsible if they, when they have a person has a license, a minor's license.
Correct.
The parents are still responsible, okay, for the acts of their child when they're driving the car, when they're under 18. And I think this kind of follows the same logic here.
so the state law then would say that, and I don't know the state law, I'm asking you this question, so the state law would say that if my child at 16 or 17 is driving a vehicle, and
You're
they do
still
so,
responsible.
I'm
You're
still
responsible to make sure they have insurance. You'd be responsible, for the accident up to a certain limit,
sure,
right?
yeah, I understand that.
I don't know how often that comes into play, but I think the chief can verify that, is what the current status is for somebody who's under 18. It's not an open license the way it is for somebody 18 and above, so.
Right, I agree. I think this is an extra, it's basically just an extra layer of insurance in there. And I think it's, given the fact that, some issues we've had in the recent past, this is definitely something where could have come into play that would have been useful.
So nobody can challenge us on this?
Well, I think what this really is mean, or it says here is basically that if a parent is going to allow their child to take the e-bike out and
disobey all of our traffic laws. Without something like this in here, it can almost like be, they can endorse that, and there would be no layer of responsibility for the parent. If you don't get any compliance from the child as a minor, the next level would be the parent. After that, you know, that's pretty much the last resort.
It's going to be the case anyways, though, right? We don't have a law within the village that says this about driving a car, though, right?
No, we don't have anything else other than in this particular instance with these e-bikes. This was something that was thrown in here where I think it's a very good layer of insurance there.
You can defend it, Mr. Lyons?
Pardon me?
You can defend it?
Yeah, I'm okay with it. I think it's doubtful that anybody is gonna challenge it, and we would have to prove that, which is a hard thing to prove, you know, that the parent authorized them to violate it, or that they knowingly permitted it. But where it could come into play is if they get cited in the juvenile court, and the court tells, you know, the kid and the parent, one of the parents has to be there, that they're not allowed to use that bike for 2 months. And then the next thing you know, the bike is out there being ridden, and the parents didn't lock that bike up. I think the parents would have responsibility at that time, because, you know, I guess the parents could say, well, the kid stole the bike, okay, but then they'd be back in juvenile court with the kid. So I just think it gives an extra layer of protection, the same way that the driver's license law does. I don't know if it'll come into play very often, but it's an extra talking point at the very least for the police to talk to the parents in terms of, look, we're giving your kid a warning. I mean, if this happens again and he's using the bike in the next 10 days, you know, we're gonna cite him. Okay, so.
Okay. Let it ride as it is then.
Okay, so then I need a motion to approve.
I'll make that motion. Second.
Vacknick.
Aye.
Shaver.
Aye.
McKinney.
Aye.
Horton.
Aye.
Bertone.
Aye.
Heights.
Aye.
Thank you.
Ordinance number 2026-55, an ordinance by the Council of the Village of Fairport Harbor, Lake County, Ohio, to levy assessments for the improvement of various streets in the village by supplying said streets with electric street lighting. Second read.
Move to adopt.
It's on second read.
That's what I thought. Then we'll wait.
Ordinance number 2026-57, an ordinance establishing water utility rates, charges and fees, and repealing inconsistent provisions. That's on second read. Ordinance number 2026-63, an ordinance or resolution determining council intent to proceed with special assessments for the cost of planting, maintaining, trimming, and removing shade trees and declaring an emergency. That is on second read. Ordinance number 2026-65, an ordinance amending Village Code 51103 to address residential construction noise and not declaring an emergency.
It's a good change. I'll move to adopt.
Second.
Jim? And this one, 65, this needs to be not declaring an emergency, so I treat that like a motion?
Same thing, right.
You
Okay.
will,
No, it's, no.
you still need to
You still
suspend the
suspend, and they
Yeah.
still vote. It just doesn't go into effect for
Okay,
30 days.
that's what I
So
need,
then-
is it?
Motion to suspend the rules?
Thank you,
Second.
thank you. All right. Suspend, Bertone,
Aye.
Vacknick,
Aye.
McKinney,
Aye.
Shaver,
Aye.
Horton,
Aye.
Heights?
Aye.
Thank you. Adopt, Bertone.
Aye.
Vacknick.
Aye.
McKinney.
Aye.
Shaver.
Aye.
Horton.
Aye.
Heights?
Aye.
Thank you.
Ordinance number 2026-66, an ordinance adopting Village Code Chapter 149 to name the municipal parks of the Village of Fairport Harbor and not declaring an emergency.
Move to adopt?
Second. Gotta
Trying
suspend.
to suspend it, move to suspend?
Yes.
Second.
Suspend, Shaver.
Aye.
Horton.
Aye.
Vacknick.
Aye.
McKinney.
Aye.
Bertone.
Aye.
Heights?
Aye.
Adopt, Shaver.
Aye.
Horton.
Aye.
Vacknick.
Aye.
McKinney.
Aye.
Bertone.
Aye.
Heights?
Aye.
Thank you.
Ordinance number 2026-67, an ordinance amending Village Code 381- or .40, swimming prohibited in certain areas and declaring an emergency.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Move to suspend the rules.
Second.
Suspend, Bertone.
Aye.
Heights?
Aye.
Vacknick.
Aye.
McKinney.
Aye.
Shaver.
Aye.
Horton.
Aye.
Adopt, Bertone.
Aye.
Heights?
Aye.
Vacknick.
Aye.
McKinney.
Aye.
Shaver.
Aye.
Horton.
Aye.
Thank you.
Resolution number 2026-68, a resolution to amend Resolution 2025-49 to amend DORA hours of regulation and drinking vessel construction and declaring an emergency.
Move to adopt? Second. Move to suspend? Second.
Suspend, Vacknick.
Aye.
Shaver.
Aye.
McKinney.
Aye.
Horton.
Aye.
Bertone.
Aye.
Heights?
Aye.
Adopt, Vacknick.
Aye.
Shaver.
Aye.
McKinney.
Aye.
Horton.
Aye.
Bertone.
Aye.
Heights?
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, I don't have anything else this evening. Does council?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So, I'm not really sure who to ask, but, on East Street, if you're going north, right before you get to Second Street, when you're pulling out of Second Street, there's oftentimes cars parked there, and it's really hard to see around them. So if there's cars coming, you can't really see them.
Where are the cars parked? They're parked on Second?
They're parked on East. There's like a big garage that's there, like a brick, kind of, I'm not really sure, sort of garage, where they just, redid that house on East Street.
So you're at the corner of East and Second?
Corner of East and Second. And if you're going north, it's just right before Second, like if you were gonna go into Harbor Town.
Right.
I'm sorry, I'm Third, I'm giving you the wrong.
Okay,
So when you're pulling out.
I
there-
got you. So it's the corner of Third and
Yes,
East.
sorry.
Okay, gotcha.
It's just really hard to see around, there's a fire hydrant there, but there's enough room for cars to park, and
Mhm.
I've almost been hit a couple times there. I don't know if it's,
Chief, that's your corner.
Yeah,
What's going on there?
We got illegal parking there. I mean, I do know what you're saying, though, because
It's
sometimes
legal.
I got take a double take there.
I just wonder if, like, could we put up a no parking sign or something? I
No, we
don't know,
can't
between
just
set
put up
hours
no
or,
parking.
We'll have to look. We'll have to look into
Okay.
that. We'll have to study that a little bit.
alright. Thank you,
He would be the one to ask.
yeah.
I do take a double take there too.
All right,
so-
good. All right.
So I know
Yeah, you
exactly
see
what
it.
you're saying.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Yeah, because I was thinking at Second Street, I don't think we parked there.
Yeah.
Sorry, never mind.
So, all right, very good. Anything else from council? If not, we are open to the public.
Hello, my name is LaDonna Holtmans. I'm one of the owners of the Pantry on Third, for those of you who don't know me. I'm coming today just with a couple questions about some things here as a business owner in the village. So to start, I want to explain why I'm here and in the manner that the reason why I'm here, the manner in it. If you don't know, about a month and a half ago, I had stepped into Lucas's office to just ask some simple questions. I'd asked for a meeting is really what I had asked for. I was not intending to meet with him at that moment. And he had the time at that moment, so I did have a meeting with him. And in that, one of the things that I needed to speak with him about was how the village supports businesses. Because I have had a business, I've opened my business in January 1st, I officially opened my business. We've been going, and my other co-owner, Lee, she lives here in the harbor, and we haven't had any support or acknowledgement as a business owner from the village. I'm not even, I don't want to be like pointing fingers when I'm saying this, but so that was where my concern was, is how the village supports the businesses. And in that conversation, Lucas was very straightforward with me, and he looked me in the face and told me that the village does not. There's nothing that you do for us as business owners. You don't promote us on your Facebook pages, your village Facebook page. I was told we wouldn't be promoted because it wasn't fair to promote one business and not the other business. So how was he to choose which business it was to support? And then from there, I was referred to Justin Levine. That's who I was referred to. He gave me his information and asked me had I met Justin and all the great things that Justin was doing for the village. I have still not met Justin, and Justin isn't on the council, so he's not someone I'm searching answers for. So again, my concern is what the village does for the city. So I started really looking into some of the things, and this is where I kind of am confused, and again, just need some clarification. This is posted on the village website. The village administrator oversees the daily operations of the village, ensuring the efficient delivery of municipal services. The office implements the vision set forth by the mayor and the council by supervising village departments, assisting in the preparation of the budget, managing capital projects. The village administrator also works to improve the infrastructure, which is great, coordinate community initiatives, and support economic development efforts to enhance the quality of life for residents and businesses. I felt left out when I read that. I checked all of the administrator reports that have been given the last 2 years that have been given here at all the council meetings. Not once have businesses been mentioned, the small businesses here in Fairport. I also then looked into the mayor's State of the Village the last 2 years. In 2025, there was no mention of change here in the village. And I know that there was a huge change within the businesses here in the city, in the village. A lot happened in that. But before my business was here, I already knew that though. But there was no mention of the support or ways to build the economy of the village either. And then I looked again at this year, 2026. You brought up the DORA again, all of the key things that it does for the downtown and the businesses, how it reinforces the Fairport Harbor as a destination town, a town of leisure and tourism, but you don't bring up anything as far as the small businesses again. The plan for 2026 is to have a community-driven process, creating a committee of businesses, community members, and school representatives and elected officials to focus on downtown development, boost local pride, and visitor appeal. But isn't that the Opportunity Development Corporation, which is a nonprofit that was formed, and no offense to them, they're really working on the flowers and the overall beautification of the town, not with the business. There isn't like a collective to bring more businesses to Fairport or to support the businesses that are choosing, the people who are choosing to bring new businesses here. So one of the things that I don't know, and I've really put a lot of time and effort into this, I really started researching like Main Street USA, how is it that these towns really function and how they are so successful. There are a lot of little towns. I visit a lot of them. My favorite is honestly Ashtabula Harbor. But I see like all the things that they've done. And a lot of them use it's a Main Street USA 4 points approach, which is really already happening here. And I've asked a couple people here, and I know that they are not familiar with it. I have. And one of the 4 points are the economic vitality of your village, the design, which is already happening with the Opportunity Development Corporation, the promotion of your village, and the overall organization of it. And the economic vitality, I just don't feel like you're helping bring other businesses or supporting the businesses that you have. So I really put a call out to the other businesses here in town, and I asked them what it was, how you could help us, ways that you could support us. And so some of them, this is the number one that everybody definitely had ways that you could support us, would be helping with a parking situation. I know that that's an ongoing problem here. I know that it is an ongoing problem in town. But even myself, I just had this situation at the Reggae in the Harbor. I had 2 cars that were parked right in front of my business. They had been parked there for about 3 hours. There's a 2-hour sign. The police officers were driving past. I popped out into the street, said, "Excuse me. These cars have been parked here for about 3 hours. There's a 2-hour sign. I definitely know that they're not coming around." And the officer just kind of looked at me and said, "Yeah, we're not doing that. It's a busy day in the harbor." And drove away. Definitely did not feel supported as a business owner. Electrical use for First Fridays. As many of you know, we have First Fridays here. That was brought on with a collective of myself and Chris Pinta, who also is trying to, bring vitality. We were using the electric the first time, and then the second time it got pulled out from us 2 days before. I don't really know what happened there. They just told us we couldn't use it anymore. So just basically even just letting could we use the electricity for First Friday? Restroom use maybe at City Hall, so the businesses, because really it's put on by the Business Alliance. We're putting on the First Friday to bring, our own little bit of tourism. Could we use the restrooms at City Hall? Could you promote, and going back to promoting businesses, I understand that you tell me that you don't promote businesses on the Facebook page. I skim that too. I'm really crazy like that. So I noticed that there were not any businesses that were ever posted on the Fairport Village Facebook page until February 6th. On February 6th, Destination Fairport Harbor, a private business here in Fairport, their guide was posted, that they could, their guide of Fairport Harbor was posted. And then since then, Destination Fairport Harbor has been posted on the Fairport Village page, their events. There are some question also, if you really look at those posts, as to my question of validity is who is posting them. They're very different from the other posts that come from the city. So I'm not sure how the wording is almost exactly the same as Destination Fairport Harbor's wording and emoji use and things like that. So I'm confused how that happens. But up until I had that meeting, there was no other posting of any other businesses. And also in that meeting with Lucas, he was not aware that the Fairport Harbor Tourism Council existed anymore. He told me he did not know that. The Tourism Council has spent $2,500 the last 3 years creating commercials to bring people here. I just spoke with Pat today. She has several tours booked. She's been doing her tours. So, her golf course tours, and she was just on TV. So I was a little bit upset also for that to have been something that I was told as a business owner. So I guess for me, it is personally, there's a lot of things that I'm very confused about. as to what is happening, as who do I go to try to promote myself here in Fairport? Because it's not the village. Destination Fairport Harbor is a private business. The Fairport Visitors, Tourism Council, they're a nonprofit. They've been around since 2008 supporting Fairport. So I don't know where to go to get help with this, or get support from this village that we chose to bring a business to.
I don't know where to begin to answer. I don't know what you're asking. You gave me a very good civics lesson. I want to thank you for that. I can tell you that we don't promote businesses. That's not what government does. That's why they're not on the website. And it's not that we don't want to promote you. I don't want to argue with you. I allowed you to speak, so this is my rebuttal. All right, and that's what this is going to be.
Okay.
Because I'm pretty sure at the end of this, you and I are not going to agree on anything. So I'll just go with that. So you talked about what does government do to help. What government does to do to help, and what government has done to do to help in the small businesses in the downtown area, is the grant that we just got for the last part of High Street. That started at Lower High Street, went to 3rd Street, where your business is currently located. That sidewalk was trash. You have a beautiful brand new sidewalk that people can walk in and out of your business on. That was paid for by our efforts and what we did to support that. You talked about the Visitors Bureau, or Pat Spivak's group. Personally, I've been involved in that for 16 years in my own time, not as the mayor, but as Tim. I do a lot of work here. Everybody on this table does a lot of work here to promote small businesses. How you get people through your front door, quite honestly, is up to you. That is your job as a business owner, not my job as the mayor. If you want to stay in Fairport Harbor, that's fine, but it sounds to me like you really don't want to be here. As far as the parking goes, the chief can talk about how we enforce that or can enforce that. We really can't enforce a 2-hour limit. So if they park there for 2 hours, we get to maybe mark a tire that's now it's unconstitutional to do so. So that puts them there for another 2 hours. So they're there for 4 hours. Then we got to bring in a tow truck to tow the truck out. So it really doesn't make much sense. What we're doing as a council and as an administration, we are actively looking into parking like they do in Cleveland with the QR codes. So we'll charge for parking, and people will have to pay more money to park in front of your store. I can't regulate time, and I think the 2-hour parking signs, quite honestly, and I've said it for years, I think it says to visitors, we don't want you here. I don't think we should have a single sign up that regulates parking. I think it should be that you scan a code and you pay, and when that code runs out, you get charged more money. That's how that should work in Fairport Harbor. Having a parking problem in Fairport Harbor, quite honestly, is a win for this council and a win for this administration. Because when I got involved, it was a ghost town. We didn't have parking problems in downtown because nobody was in downtown. So I got to tell you, I'm quite offended by about a lot of what you say. I don't think you're very informed. I think you are. If you'd like to set some time with me personally, I would love to go through the history of what we do and what we have done to support people. And I can tell you, I don't think it's a good idea. I was the one that took the power away. I don't think it's a good idea to plug generators into the village hall power and short out the village government. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Okay.
Your organization can buy a generator to have the First Friday. How we support First Friday is we close down the streets and we provide safety and fire services for that. That's how that's supported. We could very easily say, no, we're not doing none of that. But government here supports those efforts in any way that we possibly can with what's in our powers to do. But as a small business owner, again, I say to you, it is your responsibility to get people through your front door, not anybody on this government. And we've done everything we can to improve that downtown area, and we will continue to do everything we can to improve that downtown area. And I don't know, if council would like to speak on more, and maybe I was a little rude in my response, but I got to tell you, I'm not very easily offended, but I'm offended. And I don't know that I have anything more to add. we support small businesses in Fairport Harbor, and I think it's unconscionable to say otherwise, and I challenge anybody to bring it to me.
I support your comments, Mayor.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I believe you meant exactly this.
No, I didn't hear, somebody just said something, I didn't hear what they said.
I said I support your comments,
Oh,
Mayor.
thank you.
And we've built and Mr. Horton, you as well, right?
Yeah, I said I do as well.
Yeah, we put the foundation in a quarter century ago to change this town from what was left to us by the abandoning of the Diamond Shamrock Company, right? The town was dead. We've rewritten almost every law we have. We put in DORA, different districts, historic districts. We've had planning processes recently. We just had a planning process open to the public to come in and talk about how we can change the village downtown. This has been a constant work for many, many years to improve the village, to invite people in. We've had certain events over time. The mayor and his administration has welcomed many state and U.S. federal officials to town to promote us, all to promote you. And the mayor is absolutely right. And there are many more businesses in town just than what's on High Street. There are a lot of small businesses in town and corporations, Chapter S, whatever, right?
Yes, I know, yes.
That support themselves and promote their business. And that's the name of the game of capitalism,
Yeah,
right?
I'm not asking you, I'm
Marketing.
not asking physically how you're supporting just my business. I don't want you to think, like, I'm not here asking you, like, to put my business on this pedestal and show, I'm not asking you that. What I'm asking you for is, and yes, the infrastructure does improve the business, and I understand that too. I completely
But I don't think you understand the
that.
Herculean lift that it took to make that happen. In a
I do
village that is
understand that.
run primarily by part-time leadership with $0. Most of our money goes to pay staff. I mean, what we have built over the years with putting together the federal partners, the state partners, and the county partners to continue to bring money into this village, it's unheard of. It never happened before.
Yeah, and
Never.
I see that. I give you credit for that.
I don't
I'm
know
not
that you
saying-
do.
I do
I
give you
don't-
credit for that. No,
I
by
certainly
all
don't feel that
means.
here. You wanted to
I-
know what we do to support local or small businesses, and we do plenty.
Yeah, I'm
You-
not saying that.
And I don't believe that you believe that.
No, I do.
So again, I
Because
think
I
there's other people in the
understand-
public, ma'am, I would love to have a sit down with you and talk this out. There's other people in the public. We don't have a time limit, but we're probably gonna institute one here now. I believe you've had your time tonight.
Okay.
So if there's anything else from the public, let them speak, please.
Ellen Brown, 317 Chestnut. Could you ask the service department to do some work on St. Clair Street? So the Fairport sign, when you come up from over the bridge from Painesville into Fairport, the nice Fairport sign that shows the history is standing on one leg.
Okay,
The other one is completely rotted out. It's just gonna fall over.
got it.
And the other street signs that are on that road are all blocked by weeds, so you can't even see what they say on them. So if they could take some attention to
Sure.
that section, would be helpful. Thank you.
Got it. Ellen, did we get the time right?
Pardon?
Do
Yes,
we-
thank you.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate you passing that.
Yeah. Thank you for continuing to ask. If there's nothing else, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved?
Second.
Berton,
Aye.
Heights,
Aye.
Becknick,
Aye.
McKinney,
Aye.
Shaver,
Aye.
Horton.
Aye.
Thank you.